ladies and gentlemen.
Talk
and roll.
Ladies and gentlemen, did not expect to have this such an explosive start.
Such a bombastic
Ladies and gentlemen, we're
start.
not kidding you. 5 seconds before you decided to hit the record button, there was just some noise on the roof. We thought we were being hit by ISIS or something like that.
I still don't know what that is. It could be a raccoon, a possum, a dead body. I don't know. It sounded like 100 pounds hit the road. That was insane.
So, anyway,
holy, all right, we're back, baby.
We're back, guys.
What a bad, I even had an echo on that.
Yeah,
that was a bad start to this show. That's not a proper start.
That was an
but
absolute.
We're gonna roll with it. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we do here at the American Fan Podcast. All right, we have a new member in the background. I have to make the announcements. That's just what I do. Yep. Her name's Alyssa. So Alyssa, say hi.
Hi, everybody.
All right, she's going to be on camera later, whether she likes it or not. No, we're gonna.
Yeah, she doesn't get a choice. When you're in the bar, you go by our rules, right?
What kind of phrase is that? When you're in the barn, you go by our rules.
You're in the barn, you go by our rules.
Talk about being demonetized or having the feds infiltrate the barn. What goes on in that barn? I don't know. It's our rules. All right. Get down there and squeal like a pig. What?
Oh,
what is going on over here?
I'm so glad I decided not to drink my water because you almost had me choke.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Anyway, before we just go away,
I'm here too.
My nose.
Yes, we were about to.
Insect just went in my nose.
Are you okay?
I don't know what happened. It's in my right nostril. I'm not going to pick my nose on camera. Talk about a segment that is a train wreck from start to finish.
And this is going to be like my favorite topic. And then all of a sudden, boom, noise on the roof. And then
oh my good God. Why does the Hulk fist look like intensely large today? Do you notice that?
It looks the same. It looks the same.
It looks the same?
Yeah, I think it looks the same.
No, it looks bigger.
It looks bigger, right?
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I don't know either. No. Oh my God.
Morgan, why'd you move it?
It's a yellow blob like on camera out of nowhere. All right, just forget it. All right.
We should just close this out.
I think that might be a good idea. No, we're gonna roll with it.
Yeah, well, let's roll.
Once you hit that record button, this is how we do things here. All right, so
this was not
first segment today. I can't wait to get to the second segment, but we're not there yet.
But I've been meaning to get to this one.
We're not there yet. So we're gonna do some, like, what did you want to do? You wanted to do some hot takes,
yes,
pop culture, what's going on currently. I'm gonna let you start off, run with it, do what you gotta do, because I know you've been wanting to talk about this for a hot second.
Yeah, sure. So my favorite thing to do, and I've done this for many, many years. You know, I love speaking with people, so I'll ask them random things like, "Hey, what was it like entering your first job?" Or, Morgan, what do you?
You started laughing and looking at me. I'm sorry.
It's what happened last week. It's a bad idea. You get us together. I mean, she just showed up half an hour ago, and my day completely changed. I can't stop laughing. It's what happens. You realize I've dreamt about this. I'm in my 40s. I always
You dreamt about me?
No, not in the literal sense.
What?
In the figurative sense. I always wanted a little sister to joke around with, and I finally have one. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you. What a great question. You dreamt about me. Oh my God, this is really unfortunate. It's an abomination. But go ahead. This will be a great segment.
Yes, yes.
Hot takes, pop culture.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So every single time, and I've had these conversations for a few years, and I think this is a great thing for this episode is, you know, I've noticed a lot of people tend to go against me when it comes to my opinions on things, or I might have nuanced opinions on movies, TV shows, TV show endings, or anything like that. Or a particular thing about a movie I either won't mind or I will hate it completely. And then everyone else says, you know, rah, rah, that's a good thing, whatever. So a hot take of mine or Fletcher's, you told me this one. I don't really want to know if this is I don't really know if this is a hot take, but I've just noticed, and I would agree with you on this, that most people wouldn't agree. So, for example, if you talk to people about the Transformers movies, most people are going to say, now, I don't know anyone that talks about, like, the newer ones, like Bumblebee, Rise of the Beast, or something, although objectively, I think most people would agree Bumblebee was the best one. But if we're talking, like, the first four with, like, the Michael Bay universe, that the first one is generally to be the highest rated one.
Considered the highest.
Whereas
rated,
people like you, me, and Morgan all say, and you even said for your occasion that one of the few occasions where the sequel is better than the first is Transformers Revenge of the Fall, that you thought the second one was better than the first one. I agree. Morgan agreed. Correct me if I'm wrong, honey. I think that is what you said. Yep, she put a thumbs up,
Alyssa?
people.
Does Alyssa agree?
She's never
She's
seen
never watched
seen it.
Transformers. And then another hot take.
Ask her about Lifetime movies.
I had a sense.
You can
That's why I
do
asked
a gal podcast on that one. Lifetime is not welcome
That's
in
why
this.
I asked the question. I had a sense that she never saw the Transformers.
But hey, it's included.
All right, go ahead. We digress.
So then another hot take I would have is I think. Actually, here's another good one. I think the Iron Man trilogy got worse with each film, but I love the first one. I like the second one. I don't like the third one. I do not like it. Most people don't agree with me. I don't know why. They probably say like, oh, 2 is more forgettable, ergo, or therefore, the third one is, better than 2 for whatever reason. But I don't agree with that. I think that even though a movie is more forgettable than the other, doesn't automatically mean that that movie is worse than the movie that would follow from that. Again, I do think 1 is the best of the trilogy, but I also think 2 was a good flick, unlike 3, where I think one of the worst things out of any superhero film was messing up the villain, which was the Mandarin. Because the Mandarin was the Ten Rings all-powerful sorcerer, and they made him an actor, and the real quote-unquote Mandarin was this lava robotic human I hate
so
it
they
when
ruined the villain.
They completely
100%
100% ruined the villain. And even with the Shang-Chi movie, they improved on it, but it was still not the same as what the actual man is supposed to be. It was cool what they did, just wasn't the same. And then another hot takes in general, actually here's one, is the Child's Play movies. Most people say, if you go to anyone who likes the horror franchise, the suspense franchise, all that stuff, people will say, oh, the first 3 are great, and then after that, all the Child's Play movies are bad, including like the TV show or something. My hot take is, I actually think of the 4. I think 4 was the last good one, and actually the 2 was the worst one of the 4. But most people...
There wasn't enough kills in the second one.
Well, also, it was just badly paced. I didn't like the characters.
The only reason 2 exists is for Kyle.
Yeah, for Kyle.
That's it.
Correct.
And she's one of my favorites. That's the only reason why I liked her.
Yeah. Or actually, here's and I'm going to I'll stop right here. Here's the biggest hot take of all time. I think Tobey Maguire is the worst Spider-Man we've ever had in live-action media.
Wow. That is a hot take.
Now,
most people would say that
he was the best one or something. He was
the best.
But the thing is, here's why. Now,
who is the best, Garfield or
that's where I had to break down the Spider-Man. So in terms of Peter Parker, I do think Tobey's the best.
Okay.
He's very good at being awkward, at life not going good for him, and he's living kind of like a life that I would live. You would live.
He looks the part.
He looks and acts the part of the average human being that is just trying to get by, but he just happens to have web slinging abilities.
I'm with you.
Garfield, phenomenal Spider-Man. He is a smart aleck. He's confident. He's very funny with the villains that he fights and whatever. So therefore, he is the best Spider-Man. But Andrew Garfield is not Peter Parker. He's too confident. He is not shy. He gets the girl easily. He acts like a skateboarding teenager, And that's not what Peter Parker is. And then there's Tom Holland. He does well as Peter, and he does well as Spider-Man as well. I don't think he's the best Peter, and I don't think he's the best Spider-Man, but I also don't think he's the worst Peter, and I also don't think he's the worst Spider-Man. I think he's just capable of, yeah, I could do Peter, yeah, I could do Spider-Man. I just don't think he's the peak Spider-Man, and I don't think he's the peak Peter. So Andrew, best Spider-Man, worst Peter. Toby, best Peter, worst Spider-Man. Tom Holland, good at both, but not the best or worst of either. So there's my hot takes.
Hot takes concerning movies. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Movies,
Yeah.
particularly, yeah.
Do that today. Morgan, would you like to jump in with your little hot take in the background?
For what?
Do you have a short hot take?
Any pop culture hot take, like
pop culture.
I like
or
Jack
a movie?
Epstein as Spider-Man.
who? I'm sorry.
Jake Epstein.
I don't know who Jake.
He played Spider-Man on Broadway.
On Broadway.
Yes, I think he did the
I
best.
never heard of this
Yes.
performance.
He's a Canadian actor. He was on Degrassi and he quit so he can be Spider-Man, and he got a Tony for it.
He was on Degrassi Junior High?
No, Next Generation.
Oh, next
So wait,
generation.
is that a hot take? Like nobody likes his Spider-Man? Or is that
No, nobody
underrated?
talks about it.
So that's just an underrated take. That's not a hot take.
That's kind of a hot take because
if you like someone's performance on Broadway as a superhero, I don't think that's a hot take. Hot take is like you say something nobody would ever agree with that statement.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to agree with that.
Well, you
Yeah.
may think, but I don't. Do you have any experiences that say, "Oh, how dare you say that, Morgan"? Or
Because he's also very he had to learn like to stretch and be more flexible, and the other Spider-Mans had stunts. He did not.
I mean,
it's an interesting take.
it's an interesting take.
Yeah.
It's just I wouldn't call it a hot
'Cause,
take.
I
I think you even told me. Actually, here's a hot take that you share with me, but I'll give credit to you because you've got me more involved in this show, and thanks to her, I'm more invested in the show, and I like it. I think you like it yourself, Fletch. Friends, the TV show. Here you go.
yeah.
TV
Huge
show
fan,
hot take.
right there.
Huge fan. Okay, Alyssa. Now you
Alyssa
can choose
Watts.
whether you want to speak on this or not, but the floor.
She can chime in. She's not on camera, so there's no
Yeah.
pressure.
Do you want to chime in, or you don't want to say anything until I say my friends? So, the friends hot take, generally speaking, this was with an ex of mine. Guys.
She's like, I'll let you speak.
Yeah. So she wants to bounce off of what I have to
No,
say.
it's just her hand movement.
Yeah. No, that's what we were chuckling about. Go ahead.
Goodness.
Yeah.
So a hot take I have is the general perception I heard from the Friends fan base was, particularly between Ross and Rachel, that Rachel was the more likable one. Ross was just the douche of the show and whatever. I actually think he's the best character in the show.
I love him.
And I think Rachel is the worst character in that entire show. And let me tell you, I'm not just basing off of season 1 or season 2 or something like that. I'm going off of season, what are we on? Season 5 now, I think? 4, 5?
I think we just started 4. We just finished 3.
We just finished 3.
You guys are
think-
watching season start to finish of Friends?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
because
pretty cool.
it's his first
Yeah.
time watching it, and
Like, fully through
and I
getting
actually
Yeah.
agree with a
consistent.
bunch of his hot takes. I think Rachel is I think she's the worst character, but I will tell you
See?
later. I will tell her later.
This is good.
And I think Ross is the best because he literally cares for each of his friends.
And he
Rachel's
does.
just a fucking bitch most of the time now.
Now, I do
Watching
agree.
it, yes?
Yeah. Now, I do agree that Ross is a douchebag. But I think he's a douche in the right... In some
Now
friends
Rachel
are
is the
almost-
hottest character, but she's the biggest bitch.
I don't know. I think we got Monica to take over. I think Monica's more attractive than Rachel, but that's just me. But
Wow. I don't know. I was just stunned by the vocabulary of douche. There's a couple F-bombs. Everything was flying around. Yeah.
do you have anything to add to that, Alyssa, given your big fan of Friends here?
I think most people would disagree. Everybody loves Rachel.
No, see, that's what I'm saying, but the reason why I can actually explain thoroughly why I think she's the worst character. She doesn't take any responsibility for her actions. She blames everyone for everything. She treats people like crap when she's crabby. She got so... And I can tell you the exact moment the exact moment, the exact season where she became the worst character ever. And that's when she finally got her. I can't believe this shows how much I hear. I don't even remember her job. What was the job that she was working at?
Ralph Lauren.
Ralph Lauren. What?
Oh wait, no, I don't think we're there yet.
It wasn't like a. I don't know. It was like an office job.
Bloomingdale's. Yeah, we're not at Ralph Lauren yet.
So the first job she got after she had worked in a coffee shop, she got like that big office job or something, and then she became like a boss lady, I guess, for lack of a better term. And she started being really terrible towards Ross, and Ross would express concern about their relationship because of her focus on work and actually letting it affect her personal life. And I can actually relate to that because I don't think a work life should affect her personal life so much. Now, Fletch is a little bit different with you because you have to travel actually, so it does.
Now, yes, we haven't finished Friends, so like you haven't been at the part where you haven't been at the part where like me and Alyssa are, where we like Rachel. There is a huge aspect on why you're gonna like Rachel.
Sure.
But that's like
character. They all have their.
Well,
own.
I think you said the same thing about Joey. I think you said that Joey has a point in the show where
that's why the show works.
He like rises above his character. I think you mentioned
That's
to me.
He
why
does
the show
because
works.
like
all the characters are so different.
Spoiler
they fit
alert:
together.
Joey never gets in like a deep relationship, like, except one, which I'm not gonna say.
Sure.
With another character, which we know. I did not like this relationship at all.
Wait,
I thought
this
it was
is a
fucking
rabbit hole.
stupid.
Yeah,
This is what
it's a rabbit
happens.
hole.
This is what happens when you don't prepare and you just jump into a segment.
Yeah.
As we did. We have gone down a Friends rabbit hole. We could spend literally all Sunday talking about Friends.
But anyway.
But enough of our hot takes. We've been going back and forth for a while.
Let's let Fletch fucking talk for once.
Dude.
For the time, he doesn't really get
Chill
to talk
on the
today.
F-bombs, bro. That was not necessary. And I was going to ask him until you chimed in again.
You know what would have been great? If you said, chill. That's not fucking necessary.
or if you would have,
that would have been perfect. You should have came back with that.
Or if you would have acted like Leon and said, chill, bro, chill.
Yeah, quoting my song where he goes, chill, bro, chill.
He does that.
Love
now?
you, buddy.
Oh my
that's
gosh.
You'll probably
That's
see this in 20
hilarious.
years. And yeah, he's going to see
That's
this in 20 years.
hilarious.
But I want to know, do you have any hot takes
Yes,
on
I have a quick hot movie hot take.
anything that we would know?
It involves Cleveland, so our hometown,
Okay.
which we're filming in a bar, by the way. Major League. Everybody loves the Major League movies because it surrounds the Indians. I'm not going to call them the Guardians, but it surrounds the Indians.
I agree with
at
you.
the time of filming. They were still called the Indians.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few people, the only person I know of in my circle and whoever I talk to that likes the Major League movies, that I actually prefer Major League 2. That's my favorite of the Major League 1 and 2. The original is the one that started the buzz. I mean, people were in Cleveland going back to see that 2, 3, 4, 5 times. But I actually think Major League 2, the second movie that came out a few years later, I like the characters. I mean, there are a lot of the same characters, but I like the storyline better in Major League 2. I love the ending when they call out Ricky Vaughn and he goes back to his roots, cuts his hair. Charlie Sheen cuts his hair. Again, crazy like he did in Major League 1. He was the crazy guy on the motorcycle. He's Wild Thing. He's Wild Thing for a reason. But then he becomes refined, Major League 2. Starts to think he's more than he is, and then he goes back to his roots to save the day. Comes out of the bullpen in a leather vest, like a biker vest. It's hilarious, And the guy's like, "Oh, who is it?
Okay.
It's the vile thing, the grab your throat and choke thing." And then you see Charlie Sheen. He's back to his roots. He's got the crazy haircut with the big thick glasses, and he goes, "Blow it out your ass, lard mouth," like that. And it's like all of a sudden you're like, "Oh my God, Wild Thing's back." I just thought some of the scenes were cool, but everybody I talked to, I mean,
They say they like the first one.
like
better.
a hot take, like you referenced previously, like a hot take is like everybody else thinks the opposite, but you have an opinion that is counter to that, and
Right.
that's pretty much That's pretty much my contribution for today.
And then
I haven't met anybody that likes Major League 2 better than Major League 1 other than me.
Fair
So,
enough.
yeah.
And then I'll mention 2 honorable hot takes, one of my own and one that a buddy of mine mentioned. I'm not going to get into these. I'm just going to mention them, and I have a question for the audience. The honorable mentions will be a buddy of mine. I've never watched the show. I don't know if either. I think you said you haven't. I don't know if you have, Alyssa. My buddy said that he is the one person in his circle, like overall, that doesn't agree with what the general public would say about this. He actually said he watched How I Met Your Mother. Did you watch How I Met Your Mother?
Some of it.
Some of it. Okay, so you did
too,
you know,
a little bit.
So the general perception, if you guys know, or unless I'm wrong for saying this, that most people don't like the ending of that show. They say that it was a terrible ending, or it was like a nothing burger. Whereas my buddy said, I actually think it's a good ending, and that's because there were some key points of the show that a lot of people were missing. So if you guys want to chime in on that, that would be great. None of us would know anything about it. And an honorable hot take that I have, and again, this is just something that I gladly accept comments about this and on the video, which is I think Resident Evil 5 is one of the worst Resident Evil games ever made. And everybody will disagree with me on that one. And then my question to the audience is, what are your guys' pop culture hot takes? We would like to know down in the comments.